Sure. Okay, as we proceed to our third topic, leadership styles and situational leadership approaches, we now move from leadership history into leadership practice. And this topic is where leadership theory begins to directly shape how executive and supervisors behave in real organizational setting. Leadership style refers to the consistent pattern of behavior a level exhibit when guiding, motivating, and managing others. However, at the executive level, relying on a single preferred style is often insufficient. Organizations are composed of diverse individuals, tasks, and situations that demand different leadership responses. And this topic challenges the idea of one size fits all leader. It pushes us to examine leadership as a flexible and adaptive practice. Understanding leadership style is essential for effective supervision and executive decision making. Leadership style such as autocratic, democratic, and laissez-faire were among the earliest attempts to categorize leadership behavior. And these styles help organizations understand how authority and decision making could be exercised. Autocratic leadership emphasizes control and directive decision making, which may be effective in crisis but problematic in collaborative environments. Democratic leadership promotes participation and shared decision making, fostering engagement and commitment. Laissez-faire leadership allows autonomy but risks lack of direction if misapplied. Each style has strength and limitations depending on context. So, executive must understand when and how these styles are appropriate. Mastery of leadership style begins with awareness of their impact on people and performance. As leadership thinking evolved, more nuanced style-based models emerged, such as transactional and transformational leadership. Transactional leadership focuses on performance, rewards, and compliance through structured system. And transformational leadership, on the other hand, seek to inspire and elevate followers by aligning work with purpose and vision. Executive often need to integrate both approaches while system and incentives are necessary. Inspiration and meaning sustain long-term commitment. Understanding these styles allows leaders to influence both behavior and motivation. And this balance is particularly important in supervisory and executive roles. Leaders who learn too heavily on one approach risk disengagement or inefficiency. So situational leadership theories further advance leadership practice by emphasizing adaptability. And these approaches argue that leadership effectiveness depends on matching leadership style to the readiness and competence of followers. Leaders must assess the ability, the confidence, and motivation of their team members. A directive style may be necessary for inexperienced employees, while a supportive or delegative approach suit highly competent teams. Situational leadership shifts the focus from leader preference to follower needs. And this perspectives is especially relevant in diverse and multi-generalization, generational conditions, workplaces. Executive must constantly adjust their leadership's behavior as teams and conditions evolve. At the executive level, situational leadership becomes a strategic competency rather than a tactical skills. Leaders manage multiple teams, functions, and stakeholders simultaneously. So each situation may require a different leadership response. Executive must read organizational signals, anticipate challenges, and respond with appropriate leadership behaviors. Now, this requires emotional intelligence, judgment, and experience. So leadership styles become tools rather than identities. And this topic encourages leaders to move beyond comfort zone and develop leadership versatility. Such flexibility is essential for navigating complexity and sustaining organizational effectiveness. With these foundational ideas in mind, we will now explore leadership style and situational leadership in one more structured and applied manner. Our presenter will discuss key leadership styles, situational leadership models, and their practical implication for our supervisors and executive. And this presentation will help us understand how leaders adjust their behavior based on people, task, and organizational condition. With that, I now give the floor to Corpus, to Mr. Corpus for the presentation or leadership styles and situational leadership approaches.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, Dr. Marmelo. Good morning, classmates. Could you hear me clearly? Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Opo.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes po.
Okay po. Thank you po. Good day, everyone. Today, we will explore leadership styles, situational leadership approaches, focusing on how leaders influence people and adapt to different situations. Leadership is not just about authority. It is about understanding people, context, and goals. In this presentation, we will discuss key leadership concepts, major leadership styles, and a situational leadership model. We will look at Philippine leadership experiences to show how these theories work in real life. This slide presents the flow of our discussion. We will begin by defining leadership, identifying its key elements. Next, we will explore the major leadership styles and how these are practiced in the Philippine context. We will then focus on situational leadership, compare it with traditional leadership, and examine how it can be applied in real life settings. Finally, we will conclude by highlighting why adaptability is essential for effective leadership today. This structure follows the leadership framework discussed by Northouse. What is leadership? It is the process of influencing individuals or groups to achieve common goals. It involves setting direction, motivating people, and guiding them through challenges. Effective leaders are not only goal oriented, but also people oriented. In the Philippine context, leadership is often relational. For example, Dr. Jose Rizal demonstrated leadership not through authority, but through influence, vision, and education. In modern times, leaders like Tony Tan Cakchong of Jollibee Food Corporation in business sector show how leadership involves inspiring trust, innovation, and professionalism. Filipino leaders often succeed when they understand social relationship and cultural values. There are various leadership styles, each with strengths and limitations. For autocratic leaders, they make decisions independently, which can be effective in emergencies. Example of autocratic leaders are Jeff Bezos of Amazon, Napoleon Bonaparte, where they make decisions without consulting the team and dictates work methods and expects strict obedience and also considered as dictatorship. Next is democratic leaders. This involves team members and encouraging participation and collaboration. Example of democratic leaders are Nelson Mandela when he unified Africa for the abolition of apartheid or racial segregation, and Barack Obama, inclusive style of seeking diverse expertise. Next type of leadership is laissez-faire. Leaders provide autonomy, allowing skilled workers to work independently. Empowering example of a leader of who employs this kind of leadership is Steve Jobs, where he empowered engineers which use their creative freedom to innovate just to give the vision. He could be hands-on at times, but blending styles also. Next is transformational leadership, which inspires change, is a style where leaders inspire and motivate followers to innovate growth and achieve beyond expectation, fostering positive change through a shared vision and personal development. Example of this is also Steve Jobs, where inspire his people with visionary empowering and push and giving them a breakthrough. Also, example of this is Jose Rizal, who led the La Liga Filipina push for reforms and equality, education, assimilation to Spain, because he knows we can't govern ourselves yet until we are worthy of independence. Next type of leadership is transactional leadership. It's a style where leaders inspire and motivate followers effectively with clear goals and rewards and punishment. for structure and performance, particularly in early stage of companies. They excel driving short-term results and accountability. Example of a leader is Bill Gates. He used reward and punishment to drive efficiency and meet operation goals during Microsoft's formative years. Next is servant leadership, which prioritizes the needs of others. For example, President Ramon Magsaysay is often cited as a servant leader who emphasized integrity and service to the people. Last is the charismatic leader. His leadership style where leaders inspire and motivates through personal charm, confidence, strong communication, rather than autonomy. Example of this is Mother Teresa dedicated her life to serving the poor and the sick, embodying selflessness and prioritizing human needs. Also, also an example of this is Martin Luther King used powerful oratory and moral conviction to lead civil rights movements. Philippine leader context. Leadership in the Philippines is strongly influenced by culture, making our Filipino leadership unique. Filipino leaders value bayanihan, which promotes teamwork and shared responsibility. Also promotes collaboration within teams. Pakiramdam refers to the emotional awareness, sensitivity, helping others respond appropriately to others' needs. And the last is the pachamba-chamba, reflects adaptability and creativity when facing uncertainty. For instance, many local government leaders during disaster response operations show bayanihan, coordinating communities and volunteers. Former Vice President Leni Robredo demonstrated pakiramdam and participative leadership through community-based programs. These culture traits show why leadership in the Philippines often emphasizes relationships, empathy, and flexibility. Now we go now to the situational leadership concept. Situational leadership is based on idea that leaders must adapt their style depending on the situation and the readiness of their followers. There is no single best way to lead. Instead, effective leadership depends on timing, people, and complexity. Emphasize leaders should assess both competence and commitment. For example, a school principal may need to be more directive with new teachers but more supportive with experienced educators. In Philippine organizations, leaders who adjust their approach rather than rigidly following hierarchy tend to be more effective and respected. Situational leadership concept. The first one is directing. This is used when followers are inexperienced and need clear instructions. Coaching. It combines guidance with encouragement. The followers have a little knowledge about the job but still needs coaching. Supporting. Followers focuses on motivation and confidence building. Then the last is delegating. This empowers capable, committed followers. The followers already know the task at hand and they are confident enough to do the job. For example, a Filipino business leader may use directing when training new employees, but shift to delegating once employees gain confidence and knowledge. This flexibility approach improves performance, trust, and emphasized by Blanchard. Studies in the Philippines highlight the effectiveness of adaptive and facilitative leadership. Research at the Philippine Rice Research Institute shows that transformational and servant leadership improve teamwork and productivity. Similarly, studies in the Philippine school reveal that principals who adopt the leadership style based on teacher readiness and achieve better academic and organizational outcomes. These findings support situational leadership theory, providing that Filipino leaders succeed when they combine structure with empathy and flexibility. Traditional leadership often assumes a fixed leadership style and emphasizes authority. In contrast, situational leadership is adaptive and follower-centered. It recognizes that the people develop over time, that leadership must change accordingly. For example, traditional leadership may rely heavily on seniority, while situational leadership focuses on competence and readiness, especially under the dynamic environments like Philippines. It benefits more from adaptable leadership approaches. Applying situational leadership involves key steps. First, leaders must assess the readiness of their followers. Second, they must choose the appropriate leadership style, directing, coaching, supporting, or delegating. Finally, leaders continue monitor progress and adjust their approach. In practice, a Filipino manager leading a diverse team may start with coaching and later shift to delegating as trust and skills develop. This approach increases motivation, accountability, and overall performance. In conclusion, a leadership is a dynamic and deeply influenced context, culture, and people. Situational leadership allows leaders to remain flexible and responsive to changing needs. Philippine leadership examples from government, education, and business show that adaptive leadership leads to stronger relationship and better results. By understanding leadership styles and applying situational leadership, leaders can become more effective, inclusive, and impactful in today's complex environment. That ends my presentation. Thank you, classmate Doc Marmela Bante. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for the insightful presentation. One of the key messages that emerges that effective leadership is not defined by consistency of style, but by appropriateness of response. No, leadership styles serve as behavioral frameworks that guide how leaders interact with others. However, again, no single style guarantees success across all situations. The presentation reinforced that leadership effectiveness depends on context. No? Executive must therefore avoid rigid adherence to a preferred style. Instead, they should cultivate the ability to shift behaviors intentionally. This mindset is essential for modern leadership practice. The discussion on leadership style highlighted their continued relevance when applied thoughtfully. So, uh, it also reinforced the leadership flexibility requires self-awareness. A leader must recognize their default tendencies and comfort zones. No, a situational leadership challenges executive to step outside habitual behaviors, and this requires emotional intelligence and openness to feedback. Leaders who resist adaptation often struggle in complex environments. And the presentation emphasized that leadership growth begins with awareness of one's limitations. Developing versatility is a continuous leadership journey. So, effectiveness depends on his or on this willingness to evolve. So, leadership style in situational leadership approaches provides executive with practical tools for navigating organizational complexity. And these frameworks remind us that leadership is dynamic, relational, and context dependent. Effective leaders are those who can read situation accurately and respond appropriately. And this topic prepare us for deeper discussions on emotional intelligence, values-based leadership, and strategic decision making. It also invites us to reflect critically on our own leadership behaviors, and because leadership effectiveness lies in an adaptability grounded in purpose and values. Thank you so much, Presenter.